So this is going to be a little bit different of a video from what I've been randomly posting here and there. There's going to be no gameplay footage, no reactions, no reviews, no arts and crafts, except in some very minor mentions here. This video is about sobriety, because today I am 2 years sober, no alcohol. I gave it up. To give a little bit of history of my relationship with alcohol, for most of my life I didn't drink. My father was an alcoholic. He was drinking every single night, drinking while driving. It eventually just destroyed his liver. He was dead by 50. He was a little bit abusive as well, especially when he'd been drinking, so I never wanted anything to do with drinking. I just wanted to stay away from it. Finally, in my 20s, there's a lot of peer pressure from people, saying, oh, we'll just have a beer to relax. There's nothing like just having a beer to relax. Or why don't you want to have fun out here when we're bowling? We got a picture of beer. Why don't you want to have fun with us? You don't need to pay us for the beer. Just have a beer. And just pushing and pushing and pushing until finally, when I was about 26 or 27, I gave in and started drinking. Just, little things here and there, but I didn't really get into a lot of hard alcohol or anything. But yeah, so it got to the point where I almost felt like I was making up for lost time since I hadn't drank for so long. So over the years, I really got into wine, really got into beer, the things that I would really drink for the taste rather than how it would make me feel. But over the years, I started to have more and more of it. I built up a tolerance to alcohol where I could easily, have a beer or two, then an entire bottle of wine, maybe a shot of whiskey, all within 4 hours and not even really feel drunk at all. So I knew that I had to take a break. Several times over about 2 or 3 years, I would take a couple weeks off, maybe a month off, after a visit with my doctor when he was concerned about some of the levels of whatever that they check in your liver. He said I might want to cut back on drinking and do another blood test, which I did. I didn't drink for I think 4 months maybe. And of course everything looked a lot better. The liver can definitely heal itself. But every time I would take one of those breaks, the time it would take of me drinking to decide to do another break was getting shorter and shorter. So I was realizing that my association with alcohol was getting unhealthy at a quicker and quicker and quicker time. Every time I would go back to drinking, every time I would go back to say, well, this time I'll keep it under control. I'm only going to have a certain number of drinks at certain times and not let it be so important a part of my life. So a couple years ago, on my birthday, as it is today, April 30th, I decided to take another break. I'd only been drinking again for about 6 weeks maybe, but I decided, I'm going to do another 30-day break right after my birthday celebrations, and I might even do longer than 30 days. Maybe I'll see if I can break that 130-day record that I did before. So I was having my favorite wine. It's by a company called Bogle, and I still have the cork here. It's Bogle Phantom, which is a red mix, which is excellent. If you're a wine drinker, I highly recommend checking it out. You can even see I've still got the date written on here from when I had my last drink. So I had that and then bought this Naked Mind, Control Alcohol by Annie Grace. So I bought this, believe it or not because of some Facebook ad or some recovery communication from anybody that I knew or anything. I actually came across it from a celebrity, or somewhat celebrity. The comedian Pete Holmes was on a couple of podcasts I was listening to, and he didn't consider himself an alcoholic, but he did consider that he was having alcohol too frequently and should probably take a break from it. And he came across this book. I don't know who recommended it to him or how he came across it, but the fact that he talked about it, I think on 2 podcasts and 1 talk show, he brought it up, just showed that it's probably something, if it's that important to him and it seemed to have worked, maybe I should check it out as well, because the way he markets it, to me, because I kind of consider him as being the one who introduced me to it, was that it's not a book about quitting drinking. It's a book about understanding what alcohol is, what it does to the body, what it does to your mind, how our society uses it, and what our associations are with alcohol. So once you better understand alcohol and why it's in your life, you can understand how much you want to have it remain in your life. If you just want to be a casual drinker, have a drink once in a blue moon, or if you want to just quit completely. So I was about maybe 2 weeks into my 30 days, and I'd already finished reading the book. And here it is, day 730, and I still haven't wanted to drink. I had a lot of things like leftover wine bottles, which I'd use for arts and crafts. You know, I have a, on my channel here, you'll see I show like the arts and crafts on how I made this little incense bottle. But I've got lots of them that I've made over the years. You know, so I have these 2 Star Wars ones, because, you know, why not? Got my little Pirates of the Caribbean. I got 2 Tim Burton ones here. So I've got my Halloween tree into Christmas tree. Little Nightmare Before Christmas there for the holidays. And that didn't hold me back. I ended up going for some more swirly Tim Burton Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. I'd binged through Firefly and Serenity during this pandemic in 4 days, so with having that stuck in my mind, ended up making my little brown coat bottle. Made one for theater, since my son has been into theater a lot, and I was as well. And even this one's actually in the middle of going right now, but so just a wine called Intrinsic that I just really like the label for. So, you know, that's making my room smell pretty right now. I even still use my wine glasses. You know, here's one that I got from my friend Randy and his wife Dorothy. Actually, I have 2 videos of him on my channel right now. One where he's flying like Peter Pan, but they give me 2 of these for Christmas, and now I use it for tea. It may seem weird to be drinking tea out of a wine glass, but why not? But yeah. Anyways, that's been strange that it's 2 years now. 2 years without drinking at all. Reading this book by Annie Grace, it really made me understand that I was associating alcohol with so many positive things, and it's just not true. You know, alcohol doesn't make that night great. The people you were spending the time with and the activities you were doing, that's what made that night great. Alcohol can make you feel relaxed, but it can kind of rob you of making your body work properly, so you might need to relax again the next night. So drink again, and now you didn't sleep well, you're kind of sore, you were dehydrated the next night, so I just want to relax. So drink again. And it just keeps that cycle going on. You relax by drinking, so you have to break those associations. If you like going to a theme park, got to drink around the world at Epcot, that's what you do. Food and wine festival, you have to have the alcohol. If you want to have a good time, if you want to relax, if you want to kill the anxiety, you have to drink. And this book helps you realize that none of that's really true. So some people read the book and they still drink, just not as much. They kind of understand it better. And then there's some like me who just wanted a 30-day break, maybe a little bit more. Day 730. I don't really consider myself a non-drinker still, even after all this time, because I never really quit drinking. I just took a break. That's still going. I don't see myself never drinking again. I just don't have any need to drink. So maybe I'll never drink again. I don't really care about drinking. I don't think about it as much. That's not to say that there weren't times that were a little bit difficult, because I do miss the taste of certain wines and certain beers. So even without that association, I miss having that. But, you know, I've replaced it with other things. You know, I have different coffees, tea, energy drinks if I want. You know, have some meals that I normally wouldn't have because of the calories. Well, now if I'm not sucking down a bottle of wine every night, I don't need to worry about the calories as much. In fact, a friend of mine who had traveled to Ireland, he was showing me all these pictures of the trip, and he's been sober, I believe, for 8 years now. And I told him how it was kind of disappointing to me that I'm not really drinking anymore, because for so long I always associated a trip to Europe as having a lot of alcohol involved, trying all these different, you know, beers that are, you know, local to those areas, and just bar hopping through the UK would be amazing. And he just said that he's replaced those activities with enjoying the cuisine and the sights and getting a good night's sleep, being able to get up early and hit the town and see what's going on and stay out late. When you don't have alcohol hurting your body and choosing how your actions are going to unfold, you're going to have a much better time. So that's about all that I have for this. Like I said, This Naked Mind by Annie Grace. Check them out. You can Google her. You can check her out on Facebook. She's got some groups set up where they get teams together to try to coach each other through giving up alcohol and understanding it. I haven't been a part of it myself because I haven't felt the need to, but I still follow the Facebook group and see what they're doing and see what some of their advice is, because there are times that I wonder, will I ever drink again? But the longer that I've been away from it, the less I think about it. The only reason why it even came up today is that I always now associate quitting drinking with my birthday. So, 2 years. Got my little cork here. Happy birthday to me, and I'm alcohol free for 2 years. I highly suggest you give it a try, because remember, if you think that you might have a problem with alcohol, then you have a problem with alcohol. Otherwise you wouldn't be thinking that you might, if that makes any sense. Anyways, that's it. I'm rambling as I do. You can see my previous videos. I ramble all the time too, and I talk too fast and none of it matters, and usually I work in the word Catterday somewhere. So yeah, enough rambling. Anyways, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and hope it's not too much of a change from my weird random stuff that I put up.